Hey guys, it's Laura and today I'm going to be doing my autumn wrap up. So as I mentioned in my previous video, my September TBR, I have decided to split these two videos in two because it means I can talk more about the books I have read / want to read. So yeah, I've read 7 books this month. I did want to read 7. I had 7 on my TBR for August. However, some of these are not the books that I had intended to read, but they happened anyway, so I have got a lot to say, so I'm going to get into it. The first book that I read this month I don't actually have on me right now because I lent it out to a friend, and that is Once and For All by Sarah Dessen. This book made me cry. It was, oh my god, such an emotional read. It's kind of like a book that I never expected to cry. Like, the thing that made me cry was something that I would get emotional about, but probably wouldn't necessarily cry. I think I was probably overthinking it, and that's what made me like proper emotional. Like, it's all like every time I think about what happened, it makes me sad. Like, you know that feeling, I can never explain it very well, that feeling in your chest where you feel like your heart is breaking into you when you read a book. That's what I always get whenever I think about the moment. So if you've read Once and For All and know what I mean, tell me if you cried so I don't feel alone. But yeah, it's such an empowering read. Like, the topic that was in the book is like such like a very modern topic that happens in the world today. It's about a girl whose name I cannot remember for the life of me, and it's really annoying because her name was like, it was like 2 names put together, so that's why. Basically her mum is a wedding planner and she helps her mum during the summer, and she's seen all different types of weddings and different types of brides, and because her first love ended so tragically, she is kind of skeptic on the whole like situation of love first sight, love lasts forever kind of thing. Until she meets Ambrose, who kind of like pops into her life and changes that in a sense. Not really changes it, but makes her more open to second chances, I guess. I can't really think of the right word now, but yeah, it was such a great read. The ending was amazing. I love Sarah Dessen's writing, but Sarah Dessen's books are quite hard hitting. So if there's anybody who's read any Sarah Dessen books that are not as hard-hitting, let me know, because I really do like Sarah Dessen's writing and I want to read more of her books. I just don't know whether I'm ready to yet. So yeah, I loved this book so much. I recommend it to everybody to read, especially if you like contemporaries, and especially if you like quite, I want to say hard-hitting, but the video cut off. That's why I casually just thought I'd warn you about that. Basically, if you like very contemporaries with a meaning, I guess is kind of what I'm trying to say, then I recommend this for you. I'm trying to get my friend to read it. She still has not picked it up, but we shall see. The next book that I read this month I absolutely adored, and obviously that was A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. Oh my god, I'm in love with this series. I keep rereading parts of this book and I just can't stop. It's like so many amazing, it's such an impact, like, oh, I can't even get the words out right now. So much action happens in this book. It is the second one in the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy, so I can't go into too much detail, but if you haven't read the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy, you need to, because it's absolutely fabulous, and Sarah J Maas is a legit legend. This I can't even put into words how much I love this and why. It was just so good. Like, it was so gripping and you just couldn't put it down. I'm going to reread this trilogy. It's like going to happen. And I'm just in love with it. I don't really know what to say without spoiling anything. So I obviously gave this 5 out of 5 stars. It is amazing. I can't stop reading it. And you need to read it if you haven't. The next book that I read this month was kind of like a book to like kind of have in between 2 books. In a sense, I'll go into that in a minute, but that's By Your Side by Casey West. I read this at the beginning of the year, so this was kind of a reread. I decided to read this because I knew I could finish it within a day or so, which I did. It's basically about a girl called Autumn Collins who finds herself locked in a library with a boy called Dax Miller, who is the school's loner and is like being labelled as the bad boy as a sense, and she finds herself locked in the library with this guy who doesn't want to talk to her, and she's like, okay, this is great. But she's fine because she figures her almost boyfriend Jeff and her best friends will come and find her, but they don't. So she's locked in the library for a whole weekend. It's seriously amazing. I love Autumn. I think Autumn, I really connected with Autumn. She's a really relatable character, and this is definitely my favourite Casey West book that I've read so far, and I would recommend this one out of the 3 that I've read. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars again. I really, really liked it. Once again, it was such a nice, like, it was so nice to reread it and go, I was like, oh yay, like, because it's one of those fluffy contemporaries which you just love to read, like, to kind of like, get over fantasy in a sense. But yeah, I recommend this one to anybody who likes fluffy contemporaries. I know Casey West's writing is probably not for everyone, but if you want to give her a go, I would go for this one. Next book that I read this month was A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. I had not planned to read this book, but I did it anyway because I couldn't help it. The ending to this trilogy was absolutely fantastic. Everything that happened was just so like, wow. And I keep rereading bits again. It's stopping me from reading books in the day because I just love it. I mean, 700 pages of pure genius. Like, that is how I'm going to describe it. Like, oh, I can't say anything about it. I just love Feyre. I love Rhys. I love the whole Night Court. I am from the Night Court. I have a pillow. I have a book. Not a book. I have a necklace coming on the way because I've got an addiction, I've got a problem, and I don't even care. This is genius. And now I'm kind of in the mood to read some more Sarah J Maas, but I haven't. I'm just not. But I'm definitely going to try and finish the Throne of Glass series before the end of the year. I say this about every trilogy, about every series, by the way, and I just don't feel like it's going to happen because we only have 4 months left. Anyway, the next book that I read this month was The Villain Boyfriend by Casey West. I read this in a day. Didn't mean to, it just happened. This is basically about a girl called Gia Montgomery whose boyfriend dumps her in the parking lot of her senior prom. And instead of strolling on in there as an independent young woman who doesn't need a boyfriend, she grabs the nearest guy in the parking lot and asks him to pretend to be her boyfriend. And obviously this is not going to end well. Originally I was like, I couldn't decide whether it was like a 3, a 3.5, a 3.75 or a 4. But the more that I've been thinking about it, I think it's definitely a 3, just because something happened near the end and it didn't get resolved, and it really annoyed me. I mean, the relationship between Gia and the guy, whose name I'm not going to say because you don't actually find out his name for a while, and it's kind of funny just like trying to... Yeah, anyway, so the guy that she ends up, the fake Bradley, who she ends up ends up thinking more about than the original Bradley, who she wants to get back with and stuff like that, I don't know. But yeah. That relationship's quite cute because like it's like a friendship before it's a relationship, and they're basically being each other's fill-ins, as it were. But yeah, there's something that happened, and it's the more I think about it, the more it bugs me that it didn't get resolved because it so could have, and then somebody got what they wanted, and it's just like really annoying me. So yeah, I definitely gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't bad, but it was just, I mean, the more I thought about the concept as well, it's like a fill-in boyfriend. Like, seriously, why would anybody go up to the nearest guy in the parking lot? Every time I say parking lot, it makes me laugh because it's actually a car park here. The nearest guy in the car park and ask him, oh yeah, can you be my fill-in boyfriend while we're going to prom, because I don't want to look like a loner. It just wouldn't happen, and it's just, I don't know, but like... And the fact that the guy that she asked happens to be her age was another thing that I was like, such a coincidence. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I liked it, but then I didn't, and it's kind of one of those things that I was like, but yeah, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The book that I read this month was Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I've owned this for 3 years, and I finally read it. It took me over a week, but I don't even care because it was totally worth it. I relate to Emily on so many levels. It's basically about a girl called Emily whose best friend Sloane disappears, and she leaves her a list of things that are totally Sloane related and Emily would never think of doing, like dance until dawn, kiss a stranger, go skinny dipping. And Emily feels like if she completes this entire list, she's gonna find her friend again. And Emily feels like she puts more into the friendship, and she feels like she kind of like that. She's like a total like she's Stallone's friend. That's what she is. She's like just Stallone. She's not that's like her identity. Now that's not the case for me in a sense, but it's kind of like one of those things where you feel like you're annoying your friends so much, and you're like, do they actually like me? That's how I feel sometimes. So I related to Emily on that, but like the things that she was actually doing to try and find her friend, I generally don't even think I could do. So that was very brave, I'm gonna say, because there's no way it's like God send earth I could go up and kiss a stranger. You also couldn't dance until dawn because I go to bed very early. But yeah, it was such a good book. The ending, literally, if the ending was not good, it was gonna get 4 stars, but the ending was perfect. It was so cute. The friendship in this book was amazing, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And I legit love Morgan Matson so much. She's definitely one of my favourite authors, and I cannot wait to read The Unexpected Everything by her, which is her last book that she has out at the minute, which will be read this month. And the final book that I read this month was Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. I finished this at 11:20 on the 31st of August because I made myself do it. But yes, this was fantastic. I love Will even more. Jem is just like a beautiful creature, and Tessa just makes me want to be her. Because in case you didn't know, I'm in love with Will Herondale. This is the second one in the Inventor Devices trilogy, so again, I can't go into too much depth, but let's just say I'm in love with these freaking books. Like, amazing. Like, wow. I cannot wait to read Clockwork Princess because there's so many things that I know because I didn't read them in a specific order. And I'm like, but how has this happened when that I'm going to have to find that out. It's kind of very confusing unless you're in my brain. But yeah, I love these characters. I love this world so much. And I can't wait to finish this so I can read the Lady Midnight and everything like that because I'm so excited. And I'm going to finish Cassandra Clare's books before the year's out. That is my only mission in life. Okay, not my only mission. My mission is to actually, like... Okay, I don't have a mission, but it's one of them. I need to finish them all before the year's out. It's going to happen, I promise. Actually, I don't. I mean, we have 4 months left, and I've got... How many of them have I got to read? And not including the Shadowhunters Codex. Wow. 2 of the Dark Articles, Clockwork Princess, The Bane Chronicle. I've got 5. I can do that. That's easy enough. Yeah. Okay. That's my mission. We're gonna see if it's achieved. It probably won't be. We're gonna try. So that is it for my August wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed. I am hoping this video is not too long because if I have to redo it I will cry because I've been redoing these videos for like the past half an hour because my iPad keeps doing dodgy things. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you again soon with another video. Bye guys!